This just in, if you click on like or subscribe to this channel, an angel gets its wings.
That's right. That's right.
If you're a fan of Batman, you know his utility belt carries some pretty impressive stuff. Most people know some of the standard items are the Batarang, smoke pellets, grappling hooks, and more. Batman has always had some unusual objects in the belt, but I think the 1966 TV Batman probably had some of the oddest. I looked over a list from that show with Adam West and the many bizarre things he carried in it. Find out what are maybe the 7 very strangest items on this I Did Not Know That. This episode, the 7 strangest items in Batman's utility belt. The Batman TV series from the 1960s was a huge ratings hit when it first aired. One of the reasons is that the program played on 2 levels, one for kids and one for adults, and they did it very well. As a kid, all the witty banter and play on words went right over my head.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
But I love the fights and Batman's total dedication to fighting crime. If it's one thing that really got on his nerves, it was criminals.
You filthy criminals. Surrender! You criminals!
Aside from physically beating the poo out of bad guys, he had a wonderful array of items in his belt that helped Robin and him live through some pretty terrible situations. While the comic book Batman also had a utility belt with amazing items, the TV show took it to another level, often which was completely ridiculous.
A true crime fighter always carries everything he needs in his utility belt, Robin.
But it wasn't if you were an 8-year-old. It was amazing. You could only dream of having a belt like this. Ironically, the toy store Batman utility belt sure looked a lot better than the real one. Yeah, about that. With today's high-definition TVs, it wasn't long before some noticed that parts of Adam West's belt was actually made of yellow sponges. Be that as it may, somehow that belt still worked miracles, which leads to the focus of today's episode. Batman aired for 3 years, and during that time, he pulled out an array of objects that ranged from truly amazing to bizarre. We're going to look at the 7 strangest. But before we get to the list, let's get one out of the way that I didn't put there. Bat shark repellent. I didn't include it because it's so well known and obvious. Shark repellent is first used in the Batman movie, but it didn't come from his belt. He asked Robin to hand it to him from the Batcopter. It did show up again though in season 3 when he takes it out during a surfing contest with the Joker. With that out of the way, let's get to the list. Number 7. The Bat Flyswatter. In the episode called Penguin's Clean Sweep, Batman discovers that the Penguin is carrying around Ligerian fruit flies, ones that carry Ligerian sleeping sickness.
Somnophilia Ligeria, to be exact, Batgirl.
Ligerian sleeping sickness.
He and Robin find themselves in a terrible predicament when the Penguin releases 3 of the flies in a room with them. Fortunately, Batman just happened to have the Bat Flyswatter in his belt, and he whacked 2 of them. Of course, that left one, and it landed right on Robin's nose. The Bat Tweezers will get an honorable mention here as a strange item, as Batman uses it to pluck the fly off Robin's beak before it's bitten. Number 6. Counter Hypnosis Bat Pellets. The Impractical Joker. In The Impractical Joker, the Joker leaves enough clues around so that the dynamic duo show up just in time to stop him from stealing a valuable painting.
I anticipated your presence here today, and I believe my newest invention will render you helpless.
But the Joker takes out a box and begins to play it. The tune hypnotizes Batman and Robin and leaves them unable to move a muscle.
Are you all right, Robin?
I think so, Batman. What happened?
when they come out of the trance,
Sure.
the painting
Look, it's
is
gone.
gone. Later on, the Joker tries this old hypnosis trick again.
It's wrong. The key must be broken.
This time we took our counter-hypnosis bat pellets from our bat capsule dispensary.
But fortunately, Batman and Robin were prepared for it this time. And then, believe it or not, a fight breaks out. Number 5. The African Death Bee Antidote Pill. This is from an episode called The Bloody Tower, and it would have been higher, but technically it did not come from Batman's belt. It came from Robin's. But we all know Robin gets everything he has from Batman. Robin is stung by the queen of the African death bee, and one sting will kill you. But fortunately, we learn Robin was wise enough to bring his African death bee antidote pill.
You're not dying, Robin.
I was down to my last African death bee antidote pill, but I popped it in my mouth and I'm fine.
This episode also has an honorable mention.
That anti-lethal fog bat spray is working, Batman.
Yes, I always carry some in my utility belt, along with a bat file.
Number 4. Sad pills. An egg grows in Gotham. Batman and Robin are exposed to Egghead's laughing gas.
What is it, Batman?
I can't stop laughing.
But fortunately, Batman had the foresight to have sad pills in his belt to counteract the laughing gas.
Here, take this. It's a sad pill.
We must outthink him.
In a bit of a surprise, there was a big brouhaha at the end. Number 3. Batnesia gas. In I'll Be a Mummy's Uncle, King Tut accidentally discovers the Batcave. Tut had been tunneling under Wayne Manor, so he realizes the true identities of the dynamic duo.
That means Robin and Batman are really Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson.
Tensions rise over Tut's proclamation.
Well, soon the world will know. You'll have to kill us to keep our mouths shut.
And regrettably, before there is a resolution, fisticuffs break out. Fortunately, Batman was able to spray everyone with Batnesia gas.
I'll give them the Batnesia gas. Robin won't remember a thing of what they saw.
Roger.
So no one was ever the wiser. Except for Tut, who got amnesia the old-fashioned way with a rock to the head.
Batman and Robin are the
Number 2. Alphabet Soup Bat Container. Batman's satisfaction. After a kidnapping, Batman notices that certain letters are missing from the victim's bowl of alphabet soup.
Robin, have you noticed the J's, Q's, and Z's are missing?
Robin responds in one of the greatest lines of the series.
Holy uncanny photographic mental processes.
Fortunately, Batman had something in his belt that fit just this very occasion.
Gosh, Batman. It's sure a good thing you brought that empty alphabet soup bat container.
Okay, there wasn't a fight after this, but if you hung around a bit, later you got to see the legendary face-off between the Caped Crusaders and the Green Hornet and Kato. Number 1. The Echoing Seal Pulsator. In these 2 episodes, Batman and Robin go against the cold-blooded Mr. Freeze. Freeze has a homing seal, that's right, a homing seal, much like a homing pigeon, that has been trained to deliver a ransom note to Commissioner Gordon.
This little homing seal will come in quite handy.
But Batman just happens to have...
It's a small echoing seal pulsator.
Batman has Commissioner Gordon attach the pulsator to the seal and then eventually tracks the seal back to Mr. Freeze's hideout.
I told you she was a homing seal. Homing.
It suddenly dawns on Freeze that a homing seal wasn't one of his greatest ideas, and the seal would lead Batman right to his lair. Needless to say, Mr. Freeze was upset his secret hideout was discovered, and you can guess what happened next. That's it for this Bat episode of I Did Not Know That. You know, with 3 years of Batman programs, it was hard to choose which ones were the strangest on his belt. I have a feeling some of you might be able to top me. If you can, tell everybody below.
You abominable outlaws.